Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Live. We are here this Thursday afternoon. Am I saying that correctly? Thursday afternoon. It's great to have your company. You're probably having your cup of coffee and cup of tea, and enjoying your lunchtime. And, and it's an echo, an echo, an echo. It's okay. It's so good. We did it twice. So what do we got for you today? We got lots of things to do, lots of places to go, and lots of things to just. Why was my friend mocking me yesterday for having a diary? This is my diary, friends. It's very beautiful, isn't it? Nice color. It's kind of woodland green, I'd argue. With it's got a ribbon, so I know what day of the week it is, and a nice little thing that keeps it closed. And he looked at me, snorted, and said, "What's that?" I said, "It's my diary." He said, "Well, what about your phone?" And I said, "Well, I like to see it written down with a pen on a piece of paper. That's like this. What are you talking about today? Here's the running order. Good luck with that." But that's what it is. It's just I like scratching things down. It makes me feel better. I'm sick of I don't want the screen. I don't want another thing. Tap 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 tap. Watch Toy Story 5. Now, Odyssey. I think I'm going to begin with the Odyssey today. I went to see the Odyssey in the Irish Film Institute, the IFI. Okay, no spoilers. So it's really good. No, but the Odyssey is truly excellent. What I'll do is, rather than getting into the story, because you know the story, he's like the original Oprah Winfrey. He's on a journey, but it's the original. No, but it's the original journey. He is. I hate that word journey. And it's part of my journey. It's not. A journey is a trip from Dublin to Howth, on a bike or on a train or on a bus. That's a journey. When you keep saying it's like my journey, it's dropping J bombs is not welcome in conversation for me. Okay, that's just not for me. The Odyssey is a journey. It's a proper because he's on boats and planes and no, he's on boats, and a lot of horses and a lot of running around. So it's the Odyssey. It stars Matt Damon as Odysseus, the main man. It also stars Anne Hathaway as Penelope, his wife, who's been waiting and waiting and waiting for him to come home after 10 years fighting. Um, and it stars Tom Holland. I'm sorry, Tom. He's too youthful and callow to be so manly. Is that, the way you kind of. So I just can't. I'm sure he's a lovely fella, and good luck with the. And that's fine as Spider-Man, but I can't. I just can't. I just. Now his wife, on the other hand, Zendaya, plays a goddess, looks like a goddess, and acts like a goddess. I mean, she looks the part. You see her in Dune. She's so good in Dune as well. So she's great. She's got a small but a significant role. So that's grand. Tom, I'm sorry. And then there's a load of other actors who you'll kind of know and half know and say, yeah, great, great. Why did I like it so much? It reminded me of being a child going to see something like Star Wars. I was a kid. It reminded me of being about 12 and seeing a big adventure on the big screen. And because all the fuss is that they made it on, is it 70 millimeter or something? Is that right? 70 millimeter. I don't know what that means, but it just means that. What does it mean, Tom? Like in a word, in a sentence, it does mean that it's just a very fine. It's not made in digital. It's film. Okay. Well, I don't have the brain span for that sort of thing, but it just looks spectacular. So as you can imagine, so it's the Odyssey. So it's big and vast. So when you see the ocean on the screen in the cinema, it's wow. I say, like, it is extraordinary. So what I'm saying to you is, please don't wait to see this on your laptop or your phone. Please go and see it in the cinema, because this film is why cinema was created. It is spectacular. I don't think I'm going to say much more than that, other than it's great fun. Go and see it. It didn't disappoint. I did think, I was chatting to some of the lads upstairs, two of them who are curious about the world, one of them who isn't. And do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, so two of them had seen it and one of them hadn't. And I gave him dog's abuse for not having any interest in it, because he hadn't heard of Chimac sauces either. So he was out of the loop there. So I say that like I knew. I only heard about them the other day, so I'm just playing the fool. But anyway, so we were chatting to them, and they made a very good point that I would agree with, which is, at one stage, Tom Holland, who looks like a young lad that was probably about 2 seats behind you in school, says, "Well, Mom, I've got to find my dad." And I was going, "Okay, now you sound like you're lost in a shopping center. Okay, it just isn't, it These kids, you should all be talking like Patrick Stewart in Star Trek. Everyone should be saying, "Mother, I need to find my father. Where is he? Telemachus, you will find your father. Thank you, Penelope. Now let's go and find our father." Not, "Mom, I gotta find my dad." I was like, "Oh, right. Maybe they're out in the sidewalk." Please, bring it back to, the old, I don't know. Bring it back to the ham, to the I Claudius, all that kind of hammy English stuff. That's where they should all be. All ancient Romans should speak like this in a stentorious voice, and not like they're lost in a shopping center. Okay, great. The Odyssey question coming in. Oh, keep your questions coming. Thoughts. We'll have a look at them all. The Odyssey. Is it too long? Okay, so Claire, my wife, turns around to me and says every now and again, about 2 hours into a film, she'll look down and she'll look down at my hand, and it's starting to tap my leg, and she'll go, "Have we lost you?" Because there's only so much. Now, we can get into diagnoses and all the rest. So I don't want to take the mick out of myself too much. But I have to say that's generally if the film's not connecting with me. This film connected with me, so I didn't have that. My only concern was we chose to park in a car park that closed at 10, and the film started at about 7:15. So I did get a bit. I hope. I know. Hope we make it. We did, just by a whisker. But is it too long? Not for me. I think the clue is in the name. It's the Odyssey. It's big. It's going to last a while. So I mean, be patient and go and see it. Strangely, for the first time in then whenever, I think I might go and see it again.
Wow.
I know.
And straight away?
And pretty soon, because I want to see it in the cinema. What happened was, we were guests of Universal Pictures Ireland, which was very generous of them because they were showing it. And I got in a little bit later than I would have liked. So I was about 3 rows from the front, and I think I missed a lot by being too close to the screen. Yeah, I really do. So, because I was literally going, so let's say one character would go from left to right. My head, I have to follow him because it's so big. And then he's going back again, and there's the boat, and I'm following my neck. So I'd like to go and see it with probably sit a bit further back, so I don't miss everything. If you go to see it in a shoddy non-70mm film screen, apparently you lose half a helmet and half a leg. So you do have to go and see it in a proper cinema. So it's worth throwing a few quid at. That's what I'd say to you if you can. So that's good. Sinead, if you haven't read The Drowned by John Banville, I highly recommend it. I think I have. Is that one of the? Yeah, I think I read that. That's one of his more recent, in the last 5-7 years. In which case, is that a Inspector Strafford book? In which case, I think I have read it. I forget sometimes, but I loved those books.
October 24.
Oh, 24, yeah, I've read that. I love all his recent stuff. So thank you for that, Sinead. Definitely. So that's The Odyssey. I will go and see it again. There's one film in the cinema that has passed me by, but apparently it's very good, called The Invited or The Invitation. Olivia Wilde.
Excellent interview with Louis Theroux.
Did a great interview with Louis Theroux. Okay, I didn't know that. But they're saying that's very good. So I might go and see that when I'm back in Londinium next week, because I'm filling in for a guy called Ed Vasey on Times Radio next Friday morning between 10 and 1, which will be an interesting experience. And then the usual Sunday show at 1 o'clock. Now, somebody describing themselves as the Skinny Baker. That's a great name. Skinny Baker. Oh, I like that. Should 3-hour movies have intervals? That's a great question. That we have. Okay, here's my answer. Is I've just a straw poll. Aidan says undoubtedly yes. Tom says absolutely no. So it's every man for himself in this studio. But the last time I saw an interval. The first time I saw an interval that I can remember was JFK, the Oliver Stone film, 400 years ago, and it was long, and you did need it because there was so much going on. There was one, I just can't remember which one it was. There was one not too long ago that had an interval, and I remember thinking, okay, the question is, does it break the stride and throw you off the scent of the movie and the whole thing, or does it give you a toilet break and you'd want to go for it? Like if you go to see any play or in the theater, you tend to come back and get stuck back in again. I'm a fan of staying the course. I'm not a fan of an interval, I'll be honest with you. I know people, what's that? Hold it in. Oh God. Thankfully the good doctor has given us advice for urological experts around the world. Will be relieved, in a manner of speaking, to hear that the advice is hold it in. So maybe less water as you're heading into the cinema, less Coca-Cola. And they have the big, you see, your own worst enemies sitting there with your big vats of Coca-Cola. I also think, sorry, Coke, fizzy drinks in cinemas, not fizzy. They should just be called drinks. They're flat. They're not fizzy enough. Bring a can. I bring a can. Bring a can. Tom wants to know, is it better than Oppenheimer? Yes. I didn't have to think about that. I found Oppenheimer quite. Well, here we go. Science heavy. It's called Oppenheimer, but I don't have a really great science brain. But I love ancient Greece and ancient Rome. So yeah, for me, it was much more fun and much more engaging. So that's it. Another has been on. The reason I can't say your name is because you've got kind of complicated looking handles. So I'm not being disrespectful to you. I just don't know. But yours is Jukur. Anyway, welcome. The only issue, he says, or she says, is I would see it in IMAX, but Ireland has no IMAX 70 millimeter screens, and all IMAX 70 millimeter screens, all one of them in London, are sold out. So it's really hard to see it the way Nolan wants. Great point. Is that the one where they have this, like, where you, if there's a scene in water, you get splashed, and if there's heat, well, it's 4D. I want to go and see it that way. That's great. Is that where like Zendaya comes out and like hands you grapes? No. That would be an interesting way to see it. But thank you for that. Another says, I prefer not to have a break. People start rustling their sweets and goodies. Yeah, that's just going to be the way. It's going to be the way. There's nothing you can do about that. The sweets and goodies. I love a box of popcorn in the cinema, but their drinks, I'm done. I'm just bringing my own can of cold Coke Zero. That's what I'm on these days. Love them. Okay, we're still getting lots of comments in on this. No intervals because it does break the stride. Yes, from Elizabeth. And it takes a while to refocus. Yes, if you do need a comfort break, it's just the length of time it takes rather than a set 10 or 15 minutes. It's just that, well, you could wear an adult nappy. No, but this is, Tom. No, does he wear adult nappies? Sorry, this is all the right. Excuse me. Can I explain to you as a young person that no. Well, wait, how do you think I've survived for the last 15 minutes? No toilet break. No. What I'm saying to you is that in gigs around the world now, adult nappies have become a thing. So you can have your booze, stay up the front, and not at concerts. And except that some guy, come on, help me out here. Who said? Somebody said, was it Dua Lipa? Somebody said, listen, you can wear all the adult nappies you want, but don't throw them out near the field, especially if it's the other. If you Google Dua Lipa and adult nappy, they'll say, here he comes again. Not the first time. So if we could, was it Dua Lipa? No, it's somebody else. Somebody's going to help me out here. Say nappies. Okay, it's not Dua Lipa. Who is it? Nappies at concerts, right? It's some singer. We've got to find this. It's some singer. It's actually it's a man. It's not Dua Lipa. It's a man. Oh, it's Olivia. What's her message? She had this message that. It's okay. We'll get it for you. Anyway, adult nappies. So how did what's happening to this show? I wasn't expecting this to. But it's a tangent festival. Okay, no intervals. There was a website online that you can look up the best time to go in the cinema. Oh yeah, the toilet breaks. That's an app of some sort. Yeah. And did you put that app together yourself, Tom? Did you? No. You would just wear them. Okay. So that's what's it called? Run P. So if you want to find out what's happening in cinema, and you need to go to. Okay, let's move away from that. We've done that. God help us. I'm not going to go and mention the book I'm reading just yet because it's so sick. That it's just one sick item at a time here, please. Now, good news. Do you remember when I presented my last Late show? Bono sent in a message and gave me a Vespa. Okay. Well, that Vespa has been sitting gathering dust in my garden for the last 3 years. Only because now I make sure it's ticking over, but I never got around to insuring it and doing all the stuff, the paperwork, properly. So this time I'm going to sit my driver's theory test in a week's time. No, it's just the driver's theory. It's not a computer going. Yeah. And if that happens, then I get some lessons, and then I can drive it. So that's going to be mine. It's bright red. You see, Gay Byrne got a Harley Davidson because they said he was like, imagine Gay now. Okay, there it is. Boom, boom. And he said, we think you're more of a mod, so you're getting a Vespa, which I thought was a great compliment. So if you see a skinny gentleman on a very shiny red Vespa in your local neighborhood, that'll be me. But we'll put pictures up of that in due course. Um, so the oldest man in the world, Aidan Power, was telling us about his hosepipe ban difficulties.
This is an important issue.
It's an important. Okay, I'll touch on it for a minute because I did have the watering can out last night. Okay, so since Claire and myself are together in the house, she's been growing stuff, cucumbers, like really lovely, like we got some trees, fruit trees. It's a tiny garden, but I said you can uproot everything and have it and make it your own. So it's this quite yield, the spring onions, rocket salad, all this stuff. But I tend to like to water it. That's my contribution. So because I feel they look at
Your hands dirty, though.
yeah, no. But I just feel sometimes that they're like, ah, so thirsty. They look thirsty. But now the hosepipe man. So yeah, the thing is what you call it, the watering can is out because I want to do a book garden for Bloom next year. Wouldn't that be nice? Like yeah, books at Bloom, a little book garden. Wouldn't that be sweet? So it's a kind of book themed garden. So that's for another day. The bottom line is you've got your Aidan was saying he thinks he might use more water in the watering can than he would have if he was using the hosepipe. Is that true? Does that work out in the way? Yeah, I don't know if I care. Like I care about the environment, but I just don't know if I care about the answer to the question I just posed. So let's move on. Martinez says, "Don't besmirch lovely Dua." Fair enough. Duolingo. Brilliant. And Kaz says, on the subject of adult nappies, surgeons wear them. Amazing. Surgeons like to listen to music and wear. I suppose
That's fair.
that is fair, Tom. Surgeons, you've got our vote. You're okay because that's a long time. You're tinkering with little hearts and minds and brains, and so you just get those nappies on you and don't be taking an interval mid-surgery and saying excuse me and then put on the music dung dung dung. You gotta go. Okay, that's hose. Oh, quick mention for the Spanish soccer team who won the World Cup on Sunday together with their keeper Donald Trump, who clearly shared the stage afterwards. Is it true that the Spanish people they airbrushed him out of the photos afterwards because he
It's not true.
it's not true.
He
No.
just was. It was a different angle.
Was it?
The actual
It's a different angle.
photograph company that were doing
Yeah.
those pictures said they didn't Photoshop it.
The company that did the official photos are saying they didn't Photoshop him out of it, but you could get it on a right angle where he's not in it, which is quite an achievement to get that. And so it was kind of comical. I'm glad to say that we drew Spain in the family sweep, and so I was pretty happy. Yeah, pretty happy about that. Nice result all round. Kate says, not sure surgeons would describe their work as tinkering. Look, I know doctors. I've met a few of them, and they need to be humbled and made to feel real, like the rest of us, real people, feet of clay. So tinkering is fine. I'm sure they wouldn't mind tinkering. I'll find myself under the blade someday. How's this for tinkering? That's my revenge. As he. Anyway, I was going to get into nappies and all that sort of thing. Ryan, use your tea bag around the base of the plant, which keeps moisture in. Thank you for that. That's a great tip. Aidan taking notes there in his notebook as well. And why wouldn't you? Referenced a quick mention of one of our favorite bookshelf guests, Paul Howard. Didn't we love that? He was a great guest. He did make us all have a little tear. I might post that again today because it was such a good episode. It's a lovely episode. If you go for a walk later on, it's one of the earliest ones as well. And he came in and he talked about his dog, wasn't it? And then I Cheetah, the book that he loved about the Tarzan's chimp. The good news is that Paul Howard, the man who brought the world, Ross O'Carroll Kelly, has written a new book, which I have started, but I got sidebarred by loads of other stuff. But I'm going to go back to it. I have it at home. In fact, I'll go back to it this weekend. And it is called A Nation Once Again. And it was sold to me and described as very similar to The Thick of It, one of my all-time favorite comedy programs. If you like Veep and The Thick of It, which are so achingly funny and so searingly clever that if you haven't watched either of those shows, please treat yourselves. They are an absolute riot behind the scenes in politics world, and just the insults. I've never heard such glorious insults delivered at such a breakneck speed to the point. This is so fast. Like watching Aaron Sorkin and West Wing. It's so fast. I sometimes have to pause, rewind, and go, did he just call her that? Because it's so well written, largely by Armando Iannucci, who's big Alan. Was he Alan Partridge? He did a lot of that. Anyway, A Nation once again is set in a department, a kind of secret civil service department in Dublin, whose job is to prepare the country for reunification and all that goes with it. And certainly from the first bit of it, I've really loved it. Can I mention Matt Cooper here? Are we allowed? Matt Cooper of The Last Word was saying, sorry, pasta power. God, pasta power. No, this is your This is your kitchen on a Tuesday night. Pasta power. Hey, then power. Pasta power it's all about Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, and how she. Sorry, you like her? You like her sass?
I like her stance with Trump.
Yeah. Okay. Just a little moment there. Giorgia Meloni. Yeah, we move on. So, Pasta Power is a new podcast which deals with the association with ancient Rome, food, and what you can do when you're the most powerful nation on earth. But Paths to Power, which is a sister podcast of ours, featuring one Matt Cooper, who said that he felt this is one of the funniest books he's read for a long, long time. It's called A Nation once again, and it's by Paul Howard. Okay, that's good. Shemak. I'll come to Shemak in a second. Captain's Dinner. Should probably mention Captain's Dinner. I'll come back to that in a second. Another second. Messages. Alexandra Wood. Have you read The End of Everything? And what did you think? Who wrote The End of Everything? You would think I'd know if... Well, I obviously haven't read it. I don't think. It's not ringing a bell. But thank you for your message. Will it come into The End of Everything? Oh, can you see the cover? Yeah, so sometimes maybe it's one of those where I see the cover and go, oh yeah, The End of Everything. I don't know, it's not ringing a bell. Okay. Sorry, I don't think I've read that. Did I say I was reading? It's unlikely. Anyway, no, I just finished Joe Spain's one, which was really good about the Japanese disappearing thing. So I'll be interviewing Joe on Times Radio and indeed on Onic for my Irish syndicated show on a Sunday as well. So that's going to be great. And she's coming to see us in London, actually. So that'll be nice. I think I'm actually interviewing Richard Armitage this week. Do you know the actor Richard Armitage? He's in all the Harlan Coben stuff now. Interviewed him a few times. He's written a couple of crime novels. And he's coming in because in the current run of one of my favorite musicals, Jesus Christ Superstar, on the West End, they have guest appearances by actors to play the part of King Herod, who is a very camp part, is a very quick part, and he sings a song, "Oh, you are the Christ." So it's a great old song. It's great fun, and he's going to be in it. So I will be going to see. I think Sam Ryder is playing Jesus, which makes sense given he's got the look, yeah. So that's all happening there. So that's by the by. So that's Richard. I think this week or next week we'll find out. Thank you for that. Okay, let me mention this couple who I interviewed last week and really liked them. Gus Crawford Collins and Kim Hayden are part of a duo called Dream a Lot, and you'll say, "Do I know them?" If you've ever watched Traitors, Love Island, or Harlan Coben shows on Netflix, you'll know, or some trailers, you know when you hear a song in a trailer and you go, and it's a really creepy version of a very famous song, and you go, what is that? And then you go, oh, it's Can't Get You Out of My Head by Kylie Minogue. So they'll turn it into, or that bit in Love Island where, are they going to get together or not, or there's a row, and then they'll do Torn, Natalie Imbruglia, in a real breathy. So they pull these songs together and have a catalogue of songs for these film TV makers, so they can say, oh, that song. And they're lovely, lovely couple. I had a great old chat with them last week, and I just wanted to mention them because it's just really interesting. They're based, I think they said, out of Wicklow, and they're just really good at what they do. So that's good too. Well done to them. Another couple I really enjoyed talking about were the Chimak. It's a jar of, what do you call it? Sauces. So it's Koreans. It's they were at a wedding in South Korea, and his name is Garrett Fitzgerald, and her name is Sophie Rooney, and they went to a wedding in South Korea, and they just got so into the chicken and the beer, and Chimak is shimak is like Korean for chicken and beer, so it's chicken and beer, and that's the mix. And then they were living in Dublin 8, and they just he comes up with all the potions. And I saw one of their jars of stuff in something like John Lewis in London, and Max, who works with me, saw a jar in Barcelona, and they're selling them in Australia. Anyway, it's just gone really, really well, and it's wonderful. So if you see it, they're a very funky jar. It's spelled Chimac. They're a lovely couple. And they're Irish, and it's an Irish business, and I wish them well, and they're good fun. And their Instagram handle is a hoot. They're good fun. Like it's like the latest chicken wrap has just dropped, and it's him catching it as it falls. So it's that stupid, and it's my kind of humor. It's goofy, and I like it a lot. Skinny Baker back on to say thanks for liking my Instagram account. Handle names, lots of easy recipes, good stuff. Oh, I love an easy recipe, and I'm here for it. Okay, we're nearly out the door today. Not a big long one. I just wanted to kind of touch base. We're going to do it again next week on one of the days. But I will mention, what was the couple's name who adjust the songs? I wonder if they have playlists. Oh, I think they have loads. Go to their Dream a Lot, all one word. You'll find them. Dream a Lot. Now, the captain's, it's not even called the captain's dinner, it's called Captain's Dinner. I was sent this because the publicists know how much I loved The Wager by David Gran, which is one of my favorite books of the last number of years. And this book is a true story. I just love the high sea stuff. I just love it. The Wide, Wide Sea by Hampton Sides, The Wager by David Gran, Julian Sancton's Neptune's Fortune, and Madhouse at the End of the World. These are all Des Eakins. Yes, the village, the Forgotten Village, Stolen Village. Des Eakin, Ekin, one of my absolute favorites. The Zorg is another one about slavery on the Atlantic. I just find these books absolutely fascinating. This one is dark, and anyone who's studied law will know about this case, because to this day it's still referenced, even though it's the 1880s. True story. Absolutely true story. If you know law, or if you studied philosophy, this is also cited. Why? Because four guys end up, their job was to bring a yacht from the UK to Australia. And the yacht got enveloped by storms and seas. So four of them ended up in this tiny, like a currach essentially, in the middle of the ocean, middle of nowhere, nothing passing by, nowhere. And eventually, the law of the sea says, if you get really hungry and thirsty and you've nothing left, cannibalism is not banned per se at the time, obviously. So they're kind of looking at each other going, well, yeah, exactly. No, I know. This is true. So essentially the conversation they're having is, lads, we can all die or one of us can go. Yeah. And the rule is essentially we draw lots. Now, as you're reading the book, draw straws. What's happening in this guy goes back to the history of all these drawing straws. It's always the other person, the weakest, the foreign one, the youngest. Always, for some mad reason, draws the short straw. One guy drew the short straw, even though he was blindfolded. So you think the odds are stacked against you if you're drawing straws with the blindfold. But anyway, the four lads go, yeah, and they kill one of them so they can drink his blood and eat him. And they throw away the hands. The hands and the feet are too human, so they don't like to keep them. But the rest, anyway, I hope you're enjoying a lunch. And the point is, they say, they come back then saying, we've survived, we're waiting for a hero's welcome. And people say, yeah, oh, that's great, welcome home, the four of you. You know, welcome back to four of you. One, yay, two. And where's the head? Well, funny you should say that, because he didn't make it. Why? He just drew the short straw, really. So unfortunately, he is not here. So you can imagine it's a total out of the office, the poor lad. So he's gone. So then they say, well, the law of the sea is you can eat a corpse if it's gone. Yes, he was gone. How did he go? We killed him because we were thirsty and hungry, and he drew the short straw. Oh no, you can't kill someone. What? Now we're into the law, and the case builds around. Did they break the international law by killing and eating, as opposed to just letting him die of natural causes and then eating? That's the law. Then the philosophical side of it is, what would you do? Do you remember the game Scruples? What would you do? There's three of us in the studio, right? And we're starving, and we can't order Just Eat is just closed down, and Deliveroo is too complicated, and McDonald's has got a virus. Imagine, fake. And so what do we do? And then one of us has to draw the short straw. So, Tom, you draw the short straw. We'd kill you. This is getting very dark. The point is it's called Captain's. Sorry, by the way, who called it this? Captain's Dinner. Like, it's pretty on the nose, isn't it? Probably at that too. No, it's dark. It's dark as hell. It's dark as hell. But anyway, I will come back to, there was a couple of stories mentioned. In fact, there's one based on an Irish story from Limerick where there was a boat. And I looked it up, and there is a documentary on one about it, which I will listen to. Okay. Nearly out the door, but now I think we're going. Clodagh says, I think this one is too dark for me. Clodagh, can I just apologize for the last 7 minutes? It's even saying those things were pretty like, but reading it, my stomach, and I have strong constitution, but I was kind of going, whoa, this is intense. Anyway, I think we're going to get him on Times Radio certainly for an interview, so I'll let you know if that happens. I'd be very interested. He's a lawyer and a journalist, and seems like a very interesting person. My dad was even struggling, says Sarah, to watch Lord of the Flies recently. Yeah, that's another shipwreck and the deprivation of it. I watched the first half an hour of it. I was so bored, I turned it off. And I was really looking forward to it. Sometimes, who wrote that? Sarah, we are worried about you. Blink twice if you need help if you need to be. We're worried about you. Yeah, I know. This was sent to me. What about the people who sent it to me? They have to be taken involved. Get the jelly babies. You need them. No, I'm fine. No, thank you for your concern. I'm absolutely fine. It's just, okay. I better just pick up Paul Howard's book and go for a laugh. We are worried about you. That's funny. Okay, so that's Captain's Dinner. Most unusual little book, and one weirdly that I quite liked. So sorry, I'm reading at the moment. I will go on to Paul Howard's A Nation once again. That's next. I will go and see The Invitation or The Invited or whatever that's called. Hopefully this week. Another says Lord of the Flies gave me nightmares since school. Yeah, it's a really nasty one, and it reminds me of the school and the bullying and all that kind of carry on. No, John, I forgot to tell you. Sorry, I went to Ragnar Jonason's 50th birthday in London on Monday. This will give you a laugh. So we're in London. So Ragnar Jonason is my favorite Icelandic crime writer, and we're doing a project together, which is coming along really nicely. But he said, "Would you come and maybe help MC run the speeches for his 50th?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Now it's 7:00. The first thing happens is we're in this barn." And by barn, I mean there's a posh barn, and this is going to carry on. And he said, I love the 80s, so Chesney Hawkes are going to come out and sing "I Am the One and Only." And I arrived in tune, and because he had been on the Valentine's show on the Late Late when I was presenting it. So we had a little reunion there, and he comes out 15 minutes, he sings "I'm the One and Only," did a Nick Kershaw song, "Wouldn't It Be Good to Do," and then he did a new song. He's a lovely fella. Look, by the way, Google Chesney Hawkes. Hasn't changed. It's exactly the same. Like, remarkable. He's done a deal with the devil. There's no doubt about it. It turns out it was a great old evening, and Soho Farmhouse. So Soho House is the posh place, and then they have a farmhouse, which is out in the Cotswolds. Stayed there for an evening. Did I like it? White Lotus. Okay, Clodagh says, very White Lotus. I love a David Baldacci book. I don't think I've read David Baldacci. He's a American crime writer, but I don't believe I've read him. Jackie, if talking about it is putting you off your lunch, you'd never be able to eat your colleague, which means you could be the one with the short straw. Oh, I see. Because the whole thought of it, I think. Do you know what? No one would want. Yeah, there's nothing. I'd be the worst person to pull the straw. They all be going, "I'll do it again." If I pull the short straw, do it again. To do it again until it's not you, because all you're doing is picking at bones. That's no use to you. You want something else. So yeah, I'd completely survive. Amazing. Okay, take that, Captain's Dinner. That suits me. Okay, we'll do this all again next week for sure. Thank you for your comments, everybody. And I know that was a bit peculiar today, but maybe it's reflecting the national mood. Either way, you've been great. Tom, Ledge Bag, obviously Aidan, Bag of Ledge also. And you for tuning in and listening. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.